Now on BBC One, Angela Rippon hosts another Masterteam 87.
Hello, well, it is nice to have you with us again because, you know, as much as we enjoy playing the game, it really wouldn't be anything without you, and it would be nothing at all without our team. So let's meet the real stars of this evening's programme. They come from Surrey and from Oldham. Let's meet the team from Surrey first, and they are...
I'm David Bathurst, and I'm studying for my Law Society finals.
I'm Caroline Foster, and I'm a solicitor.
I'm Alan Stevens. I'm an insurance manager in industry.
And they play under the banner of the Farnham Hoofers from Surrey. Calling themselves Hoofers because they all belong to amateur operatic societies. Alan, are you actually in production, as they say at the moment?
Yes, I am.
Doing what?
Fiddler on the Roof.
In which you're going to play whom?
I'm playing the bookseller Avram.
Ah, well, we wish you success with that. Caroline, I understand, is rehearsing for Orpheus in the Underworld. Doing the can-can, Caroline?
No, afraid not. I managed to avoid that one.
While David is auditioning for the Gondolier. So if we actually run out of questions, doesn't matter, because we'll just get the Hoofers to give us a song and dance. However, hopefully we won't run out of questions for the team from Surrey or the lads from Oldham. Let's meet them. They are...
I'm Alan Warman. I'm a hospital engineer.
I'm Stuart Swift, and I'm a computer programmer.
I'm Ken Pleasant. I'm a school teacher.
And collectively, they are the old lads from Oldham. Well, we're halfway through a game with these two teams, which is why we have a scoreline at the moment that reads 17 to the Hoofers, 13 to the old lads. We managed to play right the way through to the end of the inner spin round yesterday, so we start today on the second of our spotlight rounds, and it's Hoofers who get first choice. Hoofers, you can choose Alan or Stuart from the old lads. Who are you going to have?
I will have Stuart, please.
Stuart, your choice from classical music, food and drink, current affairs, or the 1960s, please?
I'll take the 1960s.
The 1960s is your spotlight subject, which means you have 1 minute to answer questions, and your time starts... Now, which British Prime Minister rejected Rhodesia's unilateral declaration of independence?
Harold Wilson.
Correct. Who was America's first astronaut?
Glenn.
Alan Shepard. Which was the first 1960s Merseyside group to have a #1 UK hit?
Searchers.
Jerry and the Pacemakers. What new organisation was created by the Metropolitan Police in April 1965?
Regional Crime Squad.
No, the Special Patrol Group. At the Mexico Olympics, who won gold for Britain in the 400 metres hurdles?
David Emery.
Correct. Where did John Gorton replace John McEwen as Prime Minister in 1968?
Australia.
Correct. Who was prevented from taking his seat in the House of Commons in 1961 despite having won a by-election?
Tony Benn.
Anthony Wedgwood Benn, correct. Which novelist shot himself in Sun Valley, Idaho on the 2nd of July, 1961?
Hemingway.
Hemingway, correct. Who was the Brazilian who won the ladies' singles at Wimbledon in 1960 and 64?
Maria Bueno.
Correct. At the end of that round, Stuart, you've scored 12 points in the spotlight, so the team total goes up to 25. Now, lads, from the Hoofers, you can choose either Caroline or Alan to go into the spotlight.
I will choose Caroline.
And Caroline, it's your choice from classical music, food and drink, or current affairs?
Current affairs, please.
Current affairs. That is your subject. You can answer questions on that subject for 1 minute, so if you're ready, your time starts. Now, what is the title of former MI5 officer Peter Wright's memoirs?
Spycatcher.
Correct. Who is president of the Save the Children Fund?
Princess Anne.
Correct. What kind of animal bit Esther Ranson at a pet competition in June?
Pass.
A polecat. Which former Prime Minister this year published his memoirs under the title Time and Chance?
Harold Wilson.
Sir James Callaghan. Against whom did Peter Home bring an alimony claim last July?
Joan Collins.
Correct. At which motor racing Grand Prix did Nigel Mansell attack Ayrton Senna after an incident on the track?
Pass.
The Belgian Grand Prix. Who is the current Director General of the BBC?
Pass.
Michael Checkland. What is the Israeli parliament called?
Knesset.
Correct. Which flamboyant American musician died in February of this year?
Liberace.
Correct. What was the full name of Richard Branson's transatlantic hot air balloon?
Pass.
Virgin Atlantic Flyer. In June, Wendy Henry became the first ever woman editor of a national newspaper. Which one? You may still answer. Which paper does Wendy Henry edit?
Express.
No, it's the News of the World, which has a lady editor. Caroline, at the end of that round, you have scored 10 points in the spotlight, so your team total is now 27. So once again, we've got a very, very tight scoreline going into the final round of this game. 27 for the Hoofers plays 25s for the Old Lads. Lady, gentlemen, put your fingers on the buzzer. We will play the last round of Team Challenge if you're ready. Let's play. What is the total number of spots on a normal pair of dice? Too late, it's 42. In which country is the port of Fray Bentos? Alan?
Uruguay.
Correct. Jack Rosenthal wrote a television play about a woman who won 152,000... David.
Spend.
That was what it was called. Correct. Which city was the summer residence of the Viceroy during British rule in India? Too late, it's Simla. Who is president of the World Wildlife Fund? Alan?
Duke of Edinburgh.
Correct. The 19th century American politician Elbridge Gerry has given his name to which type of electoral manipulation? Alan?
Gerrymandering.
Correct. Which Swede was posthumously awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? Caroline?
Dag Hammarskjöld.
Correct. What was left in Pandora's box after all the evils of the world had flown out? Caroline?
Hope.
Correct. Which writer married Max Mallowan in 1930? Caroline?
Agatha Christie.
Correct. How many children were born to Queen Victoria? Alan?
17.
No. Alan?
11.
No, it was 9. What is the capital of Burkina Faso? Stuart?
Ouagadougou.
Correct. Always think that sounds as if it should be the name of a pop group, shouldn't it? Ouagadougou, but it is indeed the capital of that country. At the end of that round of Team Challenge, let's take a look at the final scoreline. The Farnham Hoofers have 37. The Old Lads from Oldham have 31. Which means that the Hoofers stay with us to meet another team, but the lads have to make their way back to Oldham. Thanks very much indeed for being with us, lads, and Alan, hope the foot heals soon. Bye-bye now. So let's say hello to the new team that have come to join us. They are...
I'm Joe Perry and I'm a biometrician.
I'm Vivian Fairgrieve. I'm an insurance accounts clerk.
I'm Tony Phelan. I'm a production operator.
And you can tell they mean business with a name like the Griffin Grapplers. And Joe, I'm told, has 2 lifelong ambitions. They are...
To wake up with a full head of hair and score 50 runs for the Railway Taverners Cricket Club.
Now, one of the things that you do is work as a scientist researching into agriculture and statistics. I would have thought that as a scientist, you might well have been able to actually come up with the all-time cure for baldness, Joe. What have you been doing?
Lack of government funds, I think.
My, a new excuse for the bald men of the country. Never mind, no lack of government funds where this programme is concerned, because we spare no expenses to bring you the very best questions, as you'll find out as we start a whole new game of Masterteam and a whole new round of Team Challenge, when we begin by me saying to the teams, will you please put your fingers on the buzzers, teams, and if you are ready, let's play. In Canada, what do the letters RCMP stand for? Tony?
Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Correct. Which Sunday newspaper colour magazine is called You? David?
Mail on Sunday.
Correct. When Jesus fed the 5,000 with the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, how many baskets of scraps? David?
12.
Correct. In 1968, who was the leader of the Democrats whom Richard Nixon defeated to become president? Joe?
Hubert Humphrey.
Correct. In which year was the play Look Back in Anger first produced in London? Caroline?
52.
No. Tony?
56.
Correct. Which institution receives all the royalties from Peter Pan? Alan?
The Children's Hospital at Great Ormond Street.
Correct. In a classical Greek amphitheatre, what was the name of the area in front of the stage where the chorus performed? Too late, it's the orchestra. By what name is the tower at the southwest corner of the Houses of Parliament known? Tony?
Big Ben?
No. Alan?
St Stephen's Tower.
No. Victoria Tower. Which king was assassinated in Marseille in 1934? Tony?
Zog of Albania?
No. Too late, it was Alexander of Yugoslavia. Who created the fictional detective Albert Campion? David?
Marjorie Allingham.
Correct. Round 1 down, the scorelines read 8 to the Farnham Hoofers, 5 to the Griffin Grapplers. Leading us into our first spotlight round, and because they're in the lead at this stage of the game, it's the Farnham Hoofers who get first choice to put a member of the Griffin Grapplers into the spotlight.
We'll have Vivian, please.
Vivian, you are first into the spotlight, which means you get all 6 subjects on the board, and they are living world, sport, history, pop music, the 1960s, or potpourri.
I'll have pop music, please.
Pop music to be your